And well, Narendra Modi today finally broke his silence on Togadia. The BJP Prime Ministerial candidate slammed Togadia for a hate speech on Saturday when he called for the forcible eviction of a Muslim family from a Hindu-dominated locality. Well, Modi tweeted, and I quote, "I disapprove of any such irresponsible statement and appeal to those making them to kindly refrain from doing so." Petty statements by those claiming to be BJP's well-wishers are deviating the campaign from the issues of development and good governance. This is what Narendra Modi tweeted about his opinion about Togadia, not of course pulling up his name, but making it very clear that he disapproves of any such statement and also appealed to them stating not to make such statements and that this will only deviate from the campaign of development and good governance. Meanwhile, Hafiz Saeed also said that Narendra Modi must ensure that Muslims in India get proper rights rather than instigating Hindus against the minority community in Pakistan. Saeed also took to Twitter to express this view, and he stated, and I quote, "Instead of instigating Hindus in Pakistan, Narendra Modi should focus on fulfilling rights of Muslims in India. Hindus in Pakistan are safe." This is what Hafiz Saeed had to say, but Narendra Modi making it very clear that the Gujarat government will not be for such statements and that the VHP leader in all likelihood could face an FIR, considering that the Election Commission has also called for the same. And well, leaders who have large posters put up need to be a little worried, as an incident at RMV extension in Dollars Colony points out. On a large poster meant to congratulate politician Mahadevappa, some anonymous people have scribbled the number 420 on it, which is incidentally the section in the Indian Penal Code associated with fraud and cheating. The flex was immediately removed after the incident came to light. And of course, as you can see there on two posters in RMV extension near Dollars Colony, the numbers 420 were written on Mahadevappa's posters. A definite embarrassment there, humiliation for the Congress candidate. As you can see, some person who clearly was ticked off with Mahadevappa wrote this on his poster. Remember, 420 is directly symbolic to the section in the Indian Penal Code which refers to fraud and cheating. Well, immediately upon realizing that somebody had in fact written this embarrassing number on the poster, several people came together and removed these flex banners from RMV extension. In fact, people were seen staring at these posters after that number was put up, and immediately people were pressed into action. Authorities pulled down the flex banners. And well, for the first time, the Election Commission has directed all district collectors in Tamil Nadu to impose Section 144, banning campaign by political parties and any assembly of more than 5 persons from 6 p.m. today. The prohibition will be in place until 6 a.m. of polling day. Door-to-door campaign is permissible under law, but more than 5 persons in a group should not move around. Any campaign through electronic media, meeting and rallies will not be allowed. Politicians who are outsiders in any constituency should leave the place. These are, of course, the laws that are being put across by the Election Commission in Tamil Nadu to ensure that no campaigning takes place. Remember, in Tamil Nadu, time and again, even despite the fact of the Election Commission poll code of conduct coming into play, we see a lot of campaigns taking place even 24 hours before polling. And to ensure that does not happen, all district collectors in Tamil Nadu have been advised to impose Section 144 and ensure that post 6 p.m. absolutely no large rallies are held. Campaigning can take place, but it can be simple door-to-door campaigning with a minister, a politician, an aspiring MP only having about 5 people with them. Well, my colleague Verghese joins us with more information. Verghese, is definitely very surprising that along with the poll code of conduct, the EC going that extra mile and also imposing Section 144.
It seems that it is an outcome of the actions and clashes that have been going on between the AIDMK and the DMK in the state, and Section 144 clearly states that assembly of more than 4 people becomes is not allowed. So it is very interesting to know that from today onwards at 6 p.m. onwards, this will come into play, and it will be there in all the districts. So probably that is why, sensing an order like this coming in, the AIDMK had decided to end all its campaigning yesterday itself. And also in the door-to-door campaigning also, there cannot be more than 4 people with the candidate, so including the candidate. So it is quite interesting to know that they have restricted the door-to-door campaigning also in Tamil Nadu, and this has come for the first time. In fact, it has been implemented, and also politicians who are outsiders to any constituency will also have to leave from that particular constituency. They will not be allowed to campaign for the politician who will be standing in that particular constituency. Thereby, it shows that very big stricture has been introduced for the first time across all the districts in Tamil Nadu, and Section 144 is also part of the Criminal Procedure Code, and therefore using that to ban campaigning by political parties has come as a sort of surprise, because it just strengthens the existing model code of conduct. Now, a lot of people would be looking for the reasons why Tamil Nadu has been singled out for this particular enforcement of Section 144, because in other states this is not the case, but for Tamil Nadu this particular section has been put into focus. So that is the one question that a lot of people are looking at. Probably it has been done from a law and order point of view, as there was a clash in Metropolitan between AIDMK and DMK workers, and therefore to prevent both the Dravidian parties from taking into street battles just before the elections, this might be in view of maintaining law and order in the state, Akshita, that this section is being imposed in all the districts.
Right, but definitely is very surprising there, I guess, that we have seen elections take place in different states. The Election Commission has never felt the need to go that extra mile and take such a precautionary measure wherein Section 144 is imposed. And that is a section that is usually imposed when there is some sort of rioting, some sort of chaos in an area.
Exactly, Akshita. What you pointed out is correct, that this is in fact a section that is normally used in the criminal procedures and especially with regards to rioting. But this is very surprising that it has been attached to the already existing model code of conduct, which in fact prescribes the way the, like for example, 48 hours before the polling starts, the campaigning has to stop. So why is it necessary? What made it necessary for an additional section, especially from the Law and Order Department, to be imposed in Tamil Nadu is something everyone is in fact trying to figure out, Akshita. And this is in fact technically a draconian section, because 144 is something that will not allow the assembly of more than 4 people, and especially when it comes to election booths and all that, those booths also will not be run by more than 4 people from each party to verify the list. So it is kind of a draconian section that has been implemented. But what is the reason behind it? What are the underlying factors behind it? A lot of speculation is with regards to a law and order situation that might erupt because of cadre clashes that have been witnessed in Tamil Nadu in the last week. So this could be one of the reasons, but still it is quite surprising because it has never been implemented in other states other than in certain Maoist hit states. There has never been an implementation of this draconian measure 144 unless there is something of a civil disturbance in the area. But at present, it looks like there should be some logic to why this is being already enforced along with the model code of conduct. And also, Akshita, there is the other factor is that politicians who are outsiders to this particular constituency have also been asked to leave because of this particular law. So they've not be allowed to campaign in the door-to-door section also. And even in the door-to-door section, candidates will be going only with around 4 or 5 people. So quite interesting to note that large assemblies have been asked not to be formed within the state during this particular session, Akshita.
Right, Verghese, thank you so much for joining us with all those details. But a very surprising move by the Election Commission there. No doubt they are keeping a very watchful eye on Tamil Nadu, and they have gone ahead and imposed a Section 144, directed all district collectors in Tamil Nadu to go ahead and impose it as soon as the poll code of conduct comes in 48 hours before polling. So that will be from 6 p.m. today that we will be looking at not just the EC poll of conduct, but also the impositions of Section 144 coming into place. Well, we've got some big news coming in. A complaint has been filed against activist S.R. Hiremat. S.R. Hiremat has been accused of misusing foreign funds. The complaint has been lodged against Hiremat by Srinivasapura Congress MLA Ramesh Kumar. So S.R. Hiremat finds himself in a spot of bother there. In fact, what he is infamous for going ahead and filing complaints against politicians. Now it looks like he could be in the line of fire as he has been accused of misusing foreign funds. The complaint has been filed against him by Srinivasapura Congress MLA Ramesh Kumar. There is no word of whether there is any truth to this as such, but this could definitely pose to be some trouble for the activist, considering, of course, that a complaint is already been filed against him. S.R. Hiremat will have some serious explaining to do with regards to this particular accusation of misusing foreign funds. Of course, the activists this time and again come out and slammed the senior politicians. So is this in fact a repercussion of the same? Is it in fact a targeted attack against him for going ahead and filing complaints against politicians? Or is there any truth to this particular accusation? We'll have to wait and watch. But as of now, a complaint being filed against S.R. Hiremat by Srinivasapura Congress MLA Ramesh Kumar. Well, S.R. Hiremat definitely finds himself in a spot of bother there. Hiremat time and again has gone ahead and filed complaints against politicians. So the question is this in fact a repercussion of the same? Is this a way of one of the politicians to get back at him, or a true accusation against him? There is no doubt that Hiremat will not take this lying down. In fact, he will go ahead and take all necessary action. But as of now, we understand that there is a complaint that has been filed against S.R. Hiremat. So whether he likes it or not, whether there is any truth to this or not, he will have to face quite a bit of trouble in the days to come.